Excuse me. Yo, what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Matt says, your calls lost me a lot of money. Do you give Twitter refunds through the DMs? Do you give refunds through the Twitter DMs? There's no way you've ever lost money listening to me because I've never been wrong. I've literally never gotten a trade wrong ever. What the fuck happened to my hair? Bro, is this your first time watching the stream? I've been bald for fucking 10 years. What's up, Marsh, Prototype, Trader Brando, Sniper Gagarin. ITX says the bottom's in. Dog Boy, what's up, dude? Sanjay. Jay, Father Main, what's up, my son? Solo up, okay, good morning. GF, how's it looking forward to streams? It's going good. It's going good. What's up, William? Odd Clancy, Key Soul Gym, Kia Soul. Like the car? What's up, dude? The price action is annoying. I agree, William. What's up? What's up, Andrew? How you doing? G. Roscoe. Sergeant Sandwich. JMO. What's up, Juke? Johnny Wright. Lala. Rack. Midas the Whale. Kuro. Daryl. Big Whale. What's up, everybody? I hope everyone's doing good. Can you explain the bond stuff? No. That's the best part. So, in general, when the bonds are going up, right, the interest rates on the bonds are going up, okay? So I'm going to explain this as I understand it, but here's the beautiful thing about what's happening with the market right now, okay? So in crypto, we have a lot of people who like to act like they're really smart, right? Like you guys know this. Anytime anything happens in crypto, people on crypto Twitter are all of a sudden subject matter experts, right? Like there's geopolitical conflict going on over in Europe between Russia and Ukraine. You've got people who have no fucking clue what they're talking about, writing fucking threads based on like the 10 minutes of research that they had just done, right? This is just crypto Twitter 101. Anytime anything happens on the planet, everyone seems to come out as an expert. And this is true for the markets as well, right? And the thing that you have that's so unique to crypto Twitter is you have a bunch of retarded people, right? We have a bunch of retarded people on there. And some of these retards have been lucky, extremely lucky, so lucky that they managed to make some money. Whether it's a significant amount, whether they end up giving it all back is not the point. They've been so fortunate, they've been blessed that they were able to make some money by basically just being a bull in a bull market. And what's happened to these retarded people is they've confused the fact that they're retarded, right? And the fact that they made money to somehow make it seem like they're actually not retarded. They're like, well, how can I be retarded? I thought Bitcoin was going to go up. It went up and I made money. Therefore, I'm actually really smart. And no one on Twitter really has the modesty, right, to admit that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about for most stuff. Most people are not actually traders. They're not investors. They don't have a really good understanding of economics or what's going on a macro scale with the world right now with regards to tariffs, bonds. Are we in a recession? Are we going into depression? Most people have no fucking clue what they're talking about. They just got lucky that they were a bull in a bull market. They were bullish on some magic internet coins. Those went up and they made money. Okay? I don't try and delude myself into understanding things that I don't. I'm very good at a few things. One of those things I'm really good at is drawing boxes on charts and somehow scraping out profitability with my trading, mostly in crypto. I do a little bit of FX. I do a little bit of currencies. And I have a good baseline understanding of trading concepts with regard to price action. I have a pretty good understanding of currencies and, cross-market analysis and things like that, but that's it. I am not some sort of macro wizard. I don't understand the political, macroeconomic headwinds that are occurring based on Trump's tariffs, the bond rates going up, what all that actually fucking means. Now, I know that when the bond interest rates are going up, generally that's a sign that we are entering a risk-off environment. Right? Because if I can lock up my money, okay, at 4.5%, 4.45%, almost 5% here with the US government in a bond guaranteed to get that interest paid out, I think every 6 months. Now, is the fluctuation of the bond change over time? Yes, but if you lock in at this rate, that's the rate you get. And if you hold it to maturity, you get that bond price at maturity. So if I can get risk-free, right, rate of return of almost 5%, that's a sign of a risk-off environment. Okay? But that's the extent of my bond knowledge. So I'm not going to be on here trying to pretend like I know what the fuck is going on with the bond market. What I can tell you is when these are ripping like they have been and they're continuing to go up, right? And the bond prices are dropping, generally that's a risk off signal. Okay? But like that's where I cap out. That's where this little fucking brain, that's as much as it understands. Now, you're going to have a bunch of people on Twitter who literally made all of their money. They've got fucking $10,000 in their fucking Phantom wallet writing threads about what they think about the bonds. Okay? So there's a massive disconnect between what people on Twitter think they know and like reality. Now, the good news is there's actually some very, very fucking smart people on Twitter who post their thoughts for free. And times like this where there's other things driving price outside of just like, hey, we're in a bull market, just be bullish, everything goes up, you're going to look smart. You can actually find some really good follows from people who actually know what they're talking about when it comes to this stuff. So that's not me. I have a baseline understanding of stuff. Generally, bond rates going up, risk off. That's where I kind of tap out. You know things are getting sketchy when Trader Main's got the fucking bonds on his goddamn watch list, for fuck's sakes. But yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot of people who kind of show their hand at being like, oh, like I thought this person knew what they were talking about, but they don't. So many people have no clue what they're talking about, and I'm very happy to stay in my lane. Bro, were you even alive 16 years ago? Bro, 16 years ago, I was 30 years old because I'm 46 today. All right, so yeah, I can't explain to you what's going on with the bond market. What I can tell you is that we are living in the most crazy timeline that I've ever seen, right? We literally had Trump come out, tell you to buy the dip, and then proceed to pause the tariffs. Like hours later, the market had its biggest bounce in the last like 15, 16 years is what I read, right? So we had this absolutely ungodly rip, 14% on the S&P, and then we followed it up with one of the worst drawdowns on the S&P in a single day. At one point, it was down almost 7%, which is bigger than any of the drops it's had so far, and one of the biggest since like COVID for a single day. It ended up closing a little bit better than that. Now it's selling off again. So the timeline is insane. What's even more insane is like this little fuck you here. This is when the tariff 90-day pause got leaked, and then the White House denied it, and then Trump tweets buy the dip, and then they confirmed it. And the only countries that seem to have retaliated were China and, of course, fucking Canada. Typical. Basically China at this point with how communist it's become. But, man. So it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy times. And I've been saying this nonstop for you guys. I've been like, this is a low time frame trader. Like, there's volatility here. Absolutely. Low time frame trader's dream. But if you're short because you think it's going to drop and then you get a headline out and you get blasted and then it drops again, like, you got to be pretty nimble. I took a long the other day based on the daily SFP. I talked about it in Telegram, and then it pumped to about 1.5 hour, but I didn't close, and then it fully retraced, basically back to my entry. We're still kind of holding here, right? So we have that daily sweep, and we have our H1 breaker, and it never actually broke that daily sweep, and it's kind of holding it on the retest here. So maybe we do go up from here, or maybe we come and take out these lows. I don't know. But from a high time frame perspective, I think just chilling right now is like not a terrible idea, right? Like, there's no need to force anything. We did have a weekly sweep in the making here, so that might be the first high time frame signal that we get in a while. If we're able to get the weekly sweep and then break structure above here, probably a good chance we trade up to here. But that's high time frame. Everything else I've been looking at, low time frame. We had multiple Monday's range trades play out. So we had Monday's range on ETH play out. We had Monday's range on a few other coins play out. So, low time frame opportunities have presented themselves with this volatility, which is awesome, right? So hopefully some of you guys have been able to make some money on some of these trades. I do still think we're due for some sort of a relief bounce, right? And the question has been the same for weeks now, right? Does it come from here? Or are we doing the setup that I've talked about for the last, 3 weeks of videos, right? Where we've now had our 3 drives, and maybe we're going to get up here, and then this becomes a lower high that sends us down, right? So we'll wait and see. I think high time frame, everything's still busted, right? Macro-wise, everything is still busted. Weekly structure's broken on almost everything. So even if we get a significant bounce, to me, a bounce on Bitcoin up into the 90s is a big enough of a bounce that you're going to have people calling for the bull run to be back on, which is like the perfect ingredients to absolutely rug it again. Alts would rip at the same time. I just don't think that there's any change on the macro until we either get a major Fed pivot. So May 6th is the next FOMC date, rate cuts, right? Or some sort of serious de-escalation with regard to what's going on with China. Like this back and forth, like tariffs of 100+%, like some sort of resolution there, some sort of deal gets done. I don't know. But again, I'm not trying to fucking predict what the macroeconomic situation is going to be. I'm just going to trade my lines and boxes. And right now we're at support, right? And we've got a clear invalidation here if we're going to bounce from here. We have the 3 drives. We kind of have the over-under. So that setup that I've talked about, this is valid right now and has been. So we'll have to see, man. But everyone's going to front run the shit out of what, bro? What everyone does doesn't matter, because when you refer to everyone, the majority of those people collectively have $0 fucking dollars relative to the actual market. Like everyone on CT is going to bid this level. Everyone on CT is broke, basically. Like, yeah, there's some rich people, some big traders, but most people that you follow are probably trading minuscule size relative to the market. Yeah, listen, you got to wonder, like, is it going to work? Like, is the art of the deal going to work? Like, to me, the funniest thing that's happened so far is Bill Ackman basically crying, oh, my money, oh, I'm Bill Ackman, oh, like a little bitch, being like, Mr. President, please do something. And then he announces the pause, the market rips, and then he goes, the art of the deal, well played, Mr. President. And David Sachs is like fucking at the literal top, being like, how do you like them apples? And then today the market just nukes again. It's just kind of fucking hilarious. So it's like, is this going to work? Like, is this bully ball going to work? Or is there a risk that, like, some of these other countries, like we've already seen China and EU talking about no tariffs on electric vehicles. And we've seen, like, who else was it? What else did I see today? I think it was the UAE and the EU agreeing to negotiate about free trade. Like, or is there a world where all these countries are like, fuck you, America, like, we don't want a deal? I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, I still think China needs to sell its products to the U.S. I believe... Let me look it up to confirm so I don't misquote. So it says in 2024, China's exports to the U.S. and imports from the U.S. accounted for 14.7% of their total exports. So, like, that's the most that they export to any country. And the U.S. remains to be the biggest economy. So I don't know. It's just like fucking, it's just crazy. Like, this is the craziest shit that I've lived through, where I've been like somewhat financially savvy and like paying attention. Like 2008, I wasn't paying attention. I was in high school. 2020, we thought it was over. Like we all thought Bitcoin might go to zero because zero was on the order books. Like all the circuit breakers happened, but that was so fast, right? Yeah, Vietnam has been talking to Trump. I mentioned this. So guys, I know this sounds gay. Okay? This is so gay that you would think we're back at 30K on Bitcoin. I've been posting like 3 to 5 times basically, or 3 to 4 times every day on TikTok. I'm trying to get cooking on TikTok again, and it seems like the only way I can do it is by posting all the fucking time. So I'm doing my best to do that. So I'd appreciate if you went over on TikTok at TraderMain and followed me. The reason I like it is because I'm way better at fucking talking to a camera than I am at typing. Like, writing out speech. I'm suck at spelling. My grammar's terrible. My vocabulary is shit. My brain is rotted from the internet. And I'm just way better at this form of communication. And it's actually a really cool way for me to talk to you guys. Just chat shit. It's easy for me to answer questions with videos as opposed to text. So if you want multiple videos and talk to me, TikTok's an easy way to do it. And I'm going to just keep fucking posting on there, bro. Everyone's saying no thanks. That's gay as fuck. I know it's gay. Well, I'm going to still do it. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Have you tried twerking, bro? If I started twerking, it would break the internet. We have the audio to transcribe audio to text. We have the technology to transcribe audio to text. See, I can barely fucking read, dude. So, yeah, guys, I mean, I don't know. Like, again, I still think that the major trade opportunities are here and here. High time frame. But we could be setting up something constructive here to push us up. But I do believe if we do get some sort of complacency shoulder, it is a short. Because you have such an easy invalidation. Like, if we get above here, then we're back on. But I just don't see that happening right now. I don't know what Trump's cards are left other than start striking some fucking deals and then getting some positive news. Because pausing the tariffs for 90 days, like, what else is there that he can say? So I do think that there's less and less impact that his words are going to have on the market. Like, it's going to lose its steam a little bit. I saw a crazy conspiracy that someone said Trump almost had China in a trade deal like back in 2019. He had him on the brink, and then COVID magically appeared, and he thinks that China developed COVID as a way to get out of this trade deal and get Trump out of office, because it's something that they obviously used and blamed on Trump as part of the reason why he might have lost the next election. That was a very deep cut for me, but I do love those. So, yeah, I mean, Bitcoin, I think the most bullish thing we can look at right now is like we're potentially putting in a weekly sweep here. Right? So there's potential for a weekly sweep. If we get that weekly sweep, right, we have the daily sweep already. If we get a weekly sweep, you now have a H12 breaker, which capped price for now, right? Whereas if we get over this, if we clear this, there's a very good chance we go to here, in my opinion. Very, very, very good chance. And I don't know how good the risk reward is on that. It's okay. It's not terrible, right? 1.5 R. I'd say little under 1.5 R. But because this is a high time frame setup, I would most likely try and find within here a lower time frame entry. That way I could get an even tighter stop, because I do believe that this becomes the target. Alts are diverging from Bitcoin a bit. Okay. In what sense? Which alts? Like what's exactly happening that you're seeing? We are on a 4-hour breaker right now. No, we're not. I mean, you could argue that this is a 4-hour breaker, but it's not really, because it didn't take out a low. We are on a 1-hour breaker, because this is the breaker right here that created the daily sweep, which is here. Diverging to clear shorts. I love you too, CR7. Okay, like what are you talking about specifically? What looks like the clear short to you? Like at the case right, the biggest concern right now for the bulls, right, is like if we just get a bearish retest across the board on these things and they all roll over again. I mean, it looks really ugly. So Bitcoin still just remains the thing to watch, right? It's got to get above 83. Above here, I think we can trade into here. And it's similar to ETH, right? Like ETH took out that monthly low. Took out a monthly low. Potentially going to put in a big weekly SFP. It's got an H12 sweep here, similar to Bitcoin. It's got a sweep. It's got a break in structure. So if we can get some fucking relief, if Bitcoin can get above 83, like look at how uncontested shorting ETH has been for literally like over 2 months, basically free ride. So like this thing could squeeze pretty fucking hard if Bitcoin can get up, right? Like if Bitcoin can go to 90 something, no reason why ETH can't go back to like 3K and just annihilate this downtrend and then potentially just put in a lower high, right? Oops. Got funded on Breakout today. Got it completed. Good job, bro. Congrats. What's going on over on Twitch here? Sorry, boys. What's up, Big Bear? Akai Guy. Perchinate. Treeborn Frog. What's up, Sir Urban Bourbon? Can you pause and guess how much of a figure Trump made from his pausing tariff tweet? I'm very interested to see. I think it would be very interesting to see which members of Congress, right? Which members of Congress bought like and longed, because clearly that information got leaked because it was reported on Monday that he might pause. They said it's fake news. It caused a whipsaw. And then it got confirmed that actually he was going to do the pause. There's no way in my mind a bunch of people did not insider trade that information. There's no way. There's no way. He literally tweeted buy the dip. And he gave you the entry. He's a better paid group leader than I am. He said buy the dip. And then it immediately ripped like 10%. So Giga Chad, right? But you wonder how many people in the government insider traded on info while we were down here knowing that he was going to pause the tariffs, right? I personally don't think that if you are in the government and you're privy to information that can, you know, cause a up or down move on a stock or in the markets, that you should be able to trade. It seems like a very obvious conflict of interest. It's not often that you're going to find me agreeing with AOC or Ilhan Omar, but I agree that these people should not be able to trade unless they publicly are disclosing everything they trade, like while they do it. Like if you want to invest, I'm not saying you can't invest or have any fucking equities or whatever, but like we need to know, like there needs to be like a rule where it's like they've got to disclose everything like in real time, because like otherwise, why is Nancy Pelosi worth $200 million? Why is Elizabeth Warren worth $25 million? Why is Bernie Sanders, Mr. fucking socialist, worth so much money and has like multiple properties in Vermont on the fucking water? You know? Why? Why is it that Nancy Pelosi stock tracker is like one of the best returning fucking market participants ever? Because maybe in her entire time being in the government for so many goddamn years, that old hag she was privy to information like, oh, the government is about to enter a contract with this company. Maybe I should buy it. You know what I mean? Get a nice little pumperoonie here. So, yeah, very interesting. Bit off the beers, but no, one of the few Twitter guys that doesn't LARP. Thank you, bro. Volatility is crazy. 100K BTC before Q3? I fucking hope so, bro. Is there any way to contact me for business? You're contacting me right now. What would you like to know, bro? At what price are we getting the hairline back? Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I have a friend who did the hair transplant. I just don't care, dude. I don't care. I'm getting married soon. What's up, R-Man? JP, what's up, bro? Is there any way to have a conversation with you for a business, please? You can talk to me right now in the chat. Pitch me your business like this is Shark Tank. Let's go. She's just the GOAT. It's a queen. She said it's a free market. Bro, your stream is pumping the market. You got to stream more. I stream like fucking 3 or 4 times a week, bro. Billy Mendez says, can you please put a hat back on? Hey, Billy, I got a great idea. Let's play a game. It's called the Shut the Fuck Up game. You go first. Then I'll go next. Did I buy any spot before the pause? No, I did not. I bought spot back here, and I bought some spot here. My average is about 80. Why is ETH so gay? I don't know, bro. Look at fucking Vitalik. Like, look at Vitalik, man. What are we supposed to do? How can you combat Vitalik? They should put me in charge of the Ethereum Foundation. Hype, yeah, like, listen, it's bouncing. I think the more interesting chart, right, is hype divided by ETH. I don't know if I can just do it like this or if it's going to make me, yeah, like, this is a much more interesting chart. Better off holding Hyperliquid than ETH, at least, right? Monday's range so good. Would you teach us something new again? I know, bro. Isn't it crazy that I fucking shared that fucking shit and all you guys are able to make money? Like, look at ETH, dude. And that's not even the real sauce. I only gave you guys a fucking taste of the sauce. ETH paid on Monday's range twice. Right? There. And then you have here as well. Like, this is it. Maybe this doesn't go all the way to the range low, but I bet you probably got close to 2R if you took the short. Yeah, easily 2R. Right? Like, you can always aim for the other side of the range, but 2R, you hit 2R a lot. On the long side, obviously, this was a cook. I mean, 2R was a given because the risk was so tight, but this thing went all the way to the other side of the range. That was an easy one. There's so many other systems like this too that you can use, and you can refine them in so many ways to make them even more profitable. I don't think Bitcoin quite tagged it. Like, Bitcoin came very close, right? Came all the way down, didn't quite take it like ETH did, but then it went all the way to the other side. I'm sure a bunch of coins, like the weaker coins, I think probably played out. Like, let's see. Yeah, like ETH is the weakest. All of these coins much stronger. Didn't play out. Now it's using it as support. Everyone's like, oh, can I use it as support? Yeah, it's SR. It's just a range, dude. Right? Like, once you realize that, yes, it's Monday's range has got some specific intricacies to it, but it's just a range, right? So if you deviate the low, you can target the high. If you deviate the high, you can target the low. And then if it breaks below and then rejects, this is resistance now. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. A lot of different ways that you can do it and use it. Look at PopCat. But as clean as it gets, dude. Across one of the coins, you will get a setup almost every single week. It's not always going to be profitable. It's not always going to work, but it's a really good beginner framework for price action. Because once you understand why Monday's range is great, it gives you the bias, gives you where you're looking to enter, gives you a target, right? Then you can start to apply that logic to other shit. Okay, I'm looking for a trade setup to form on PopCat. Well, why would I want a long? I don't know. Maybe because I'm in weekly demand and we took out an old weekly low, right? And then on the H12, well, we formed a little breaker here and we reclaimed a key level. So my bias is bullish. Now you have those same things that gave you Monday, that you use for Monday's range. You have a bias. You know where you're looking for the setup. You know your validation. You're targeting above price. That's really what it's teaching you. It's teaching you how to build that checklist, right? Same with the H12, H1 system that I share with you guys. When it's like, okay, well, why is he always so fucking horny about the H12, H1 system? It's like, well, if this is really your range low, this is your range high, this is your POI, okay, now I have a bias. When we come here, I think we go to here. When we come here, I'm looking for my setup, right? We're in the discount. All of those things, it's just forcing you to learn bias, right? Where's the POI for your entry? Where's your stop go? Where's your target? And by teaching it to you in the form of Monday's range or H12, H1, I'm just giving you these in a mechanical way. But once you understand it a little bit deeper, you can use other things to determine your bias. If we just took out a high time frame low and then we reclaim it, my bias might be bullish. And then I can say, okay, well, I'm bullish. I'm going to now go look for a bullish order block to find a long. Where's my stop go? Well, it could go below that old low or below the order block. Where's my target? Somewhere to the left on the chart. That becomes your draw on liquidity. Well, what's Monday's range? We took out Monday's low. Bias is up. POI occurs at the range low. Stop goes below the deviation. Target is Monday's high. It's just force feeding you the knowledge. And then once you get used to it, you get comfortable with it, then you can start expanding it outside of just using Monday's range. One of the reasons I like teaching it that way so much is because it gives you the automatic ability to start taking trades, right? Like so many people are like, dude, fucking look, price came down into the MA and then it bounced. It's like, well, how do I enter this? Right? How do I know that I need to bid this? Because this time it comes down to the MA and it fucking nuked. Okay, well, you're bidding the MA touch. Where's the inval? How do I know where the trade, you know what I mean? And so many ways that people share stuff, whether they're obfuscating it on purpose or they're just not great at teaching, or maybe they don't know, is it takes you a while. Like, I think the best way to learn to trade is to fucking trade. And that's the problem, is so many ways people teach you stuff. They're teaching you all these different concepts. Well, this is this, and this is this, and that's that. But how do I actually enter a trade? Where do I enter? Where does my stop go? Where do I target? Get into the market and actually start executing. That's going to teach you so much more than watching 100 fucking YouTube videos. You know what I mean? Okay, this guy's pitching his business right now. Let's see what he has to say. Sure, I tried to reach out on X, but I think you have many messages. I'm a business developer at an exchange, and we can continue our conversation on X if you allow me, of course. Do you work for, who do you work for, bro? Just tell me who you work for. Or tell me your Twitter name, and I'll go look at it later. I thought you were going to do a Shark Tank pitch right here. This is a great question. He says, how do you know if price is going to the OTE or it's going to sweep the low first? You don't. You don't know, right? So when you have there's actually a really good tweet from my good friend Folis about this. I'm giving the boy Folis some free promo right here, bro. Some free promo for the boy. So he said, I'll just pull this over here. He said, which one do you take? Right? He said, which one do you take? Can I paste this here? Hold on. And then he posted the chart, right? So which setup are you taking? When you have this is your low that gets taken out. Let me just change this to black. This is your low. There's your MSB. Okay. Oh, fucking terrible handwriting, Maine. MSB, right? There's your low that gets taken out. There's another low over here. So this is a breaker plus fair value gap. This is just fair value gap. There's an order block all the way down here, and he has the OTE. He says, which one do you take and why? Here's the thing. All of them are valid. All of them are valid. Right? But if let's assume you're going to put your stop below there. This one's going to give you the best risk reward. This will give you the next best risk reward. This will give you the worst risk reward. Conversely, this one, you're going to most likely get in on a really strong move because it's going to have the shallowest pullback. Whereas this is the deepest discount, the deepest pullback. So there's a good chance that, hey, it might not always come there. So you're going to miss out on more trades by waiting for the order block. So it's not, in my opinion, there's not one right answer. It's dynamic. It's fluid. Sometimes you're going to get this. Sometimes you'll get this. Sometimes you'll get this. Sometimes you'll get all of them. You might enter here. It might come all the way down here, but then still go up. You still made money, but you would have made maybe more if you waited for here. Sometimes it will come all the way down here, take out the low, and then go. You don't know what's going to happen. But the point here is by taking these trades, right, over and over and over again in different environments based on different high time frame contexts, you're going to find out which one maybe you prefer taking or which one is more likely to work given the other factors. Right? And then it's just a matter of repetition, collecting the data, doing it enough times where you know which setup is the most probable in each instance. And they might not always work, right? Remember, this is not going to work 100% of the time. So he asked 1, 2, or 3. My answer would be all. Depends on the situation. It's situation dependent. So I just commented, I've had success with all 3. This is where a mechanical strategy meets discretion. Depending on the situation, right? Like if this pump, right, where it goes here, right, boom, and then if this pump is huge, the chances of it coming all the way back to the order block that generated the pump is a lot less. This is a really strong sign. There's a huge fair value gap here. I think the likelihood of it coming back to the order block is now lower. So I'm willing to bet on a more shallow retracement. Again, discretion. Discretion, discretion, discretion. Do I use market profile? No. Meaning, does the S&P 500 bounce here? I mean, if it's going to bounce, this is where it should bounce from, right? This is where it should bounce from, right here. Here's your order block, right? Here's your order block. We have a structure shift. And you also have a fair value gap here, right? So if this thing's going to bounce, it should bounce from around here. It's going to have continuation to the upside. You don't really want to see this thing make a new low at this point, in my opinion. Or else it's just going to go lower, right? No shit. What indicators do you use? I don't use any. Everything I do, I show you guys in these videos. I feel like people watch these videos and they're always like, what indicators are you using? As if like as soon as I turn the camera off, I'm like, ha 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 ha. Time to unload the secret sauce. And I fucking throw on like 50 fucking indicators. The only indicators that I actually use, I know it says 10 up here. I don't use 99% of these. I use Spaceman, which I went over in detail of the last video because they'll put things like the yearly open on, Monday high and low. And then I'll also use my indicator, which you can use for free. Just look up IMG Basic, and it will mark out order blocks and ranges for you. Right? So the IMG indicator just marks out order blocks and ranges for you. Oops. Hold on. No, sorry. You can change the time frame that the order blocks it tracks for you on, right? So we have a daily bearish order block here, and it just marked that out in red. This is your daily range high and range low. This is the prior range high and range low. There's your last market structure shift. There's your old daily order block, right? And like it's been working pretty well. So this is free. We do have a paid version that you can do a whole bunch of other stuff with. Like you can have it mark out fair value gaps and low time frame stuff. But the free version will mark out all this stuff for you automatically. But I don't even like I made this. I had this made for you guys because a lot of people struggle with, and you can change what time frame you want it to show the order blocks on. And we can have it do breakers as well. But yeah, so there's your 12-hour order block. Remember, I had this marked on my chart already. There it is, right? This just does it for you. Where's your range high on the H12? There's your range low. Went up to the order block, rejected. So, but I don't even use this. I built this for you guys, right? It's there. But I don't use like a bunch of fucking random fucking indicators. No, it's no secret indicator that I put on as soon as the video's over and I, am hiding from you guys. I just draw the lines and boxes myself. I'm old school. Your name is Boo on 2-bit. Isn't that fucking funny? You're a new exchange to the English region, but we're pushing hard. And our investors are Bybit and HTX, and our team is from Bybit as well. And we rank 21 on CoinMarketCap at the moment. My Twitter name is Boo on 2-bit. Okay. How much money are you going to give me? Right? Like, how big's the check for the boy? You're trying to sign, okay, a star player. You want to bring a star player over to your roster. I'm a max contract player, baby. What's the number? Because right now I don't have any sort of paid deal with any exchange. I have ref links, but I don't have a paid deal with any exchange. What's up, Hulk? The 57-year-old trader is live. I know, I made an exception, but I got back from a little business trip today. And I said, you know what? I got to get a stream for the boys. Even though it's almost my bedtime, it's 7:10. I'm in bed 8 o'clock sharp. I need my beauty sleep. Yo, Maine, stop with the gay thumbnails. No. Let's see. Someone said someone's been begging me to look at CRV, so let's take a look there. I feel like I had this mapped out. I really got to start using my watch list because I constantly am forgetting which one I have like actual levels on already. Maybe it was this one. This one? I don't know. I've told you guys I like CRV. Whatever chart I had the levels on for CRV, I told you I like the setup. Like, this is a really high time frame, solid fucking setup here. We took out all of the lows. We deviated. We put in a structure break on the monthly, and we've now retested the monthly breaker. So, yeah, this looks good. It's not a... I've not ever forgotten Fartcoin, boys, because I told you guys Fartcoin looked good ages ago. Okay? I told you guys Fartcoin looked good. If you go watch my fucking streams, if you guys pay attention, I told you guys this is high time to the high and the order block right here as demand. So this is exactly what I told you guys I thought would happen. We had our weekly OB, and I said this is where you look for longs on Fartcoin. And that's exactly what printed here. I talked about all of the order blocks. I'm like, this thing's trading super clean. OB, OB, order block. It's fucking ripping. So like when this thing, if Bitcoin sneezes higher, this thing flies, right? Hold on. Why? Because Fartcoin BTC is a bullish chart. This is a bullish chart. Same setup here. Weekly order block. Came into demand. So this looks good. Now, if Bitcoin rolls, I do expect Fartcoin to probably eat shit. But for the time being, it's looked good. But exactly what I fucking told you guys to happen, exactly what I told you guys I thought would happen is what has played out on Fartcoin. And Fartcoin doesn't need me as a bull. It's got one of the most bullish fucking communities on all of Twitter. And I've talked about this. I said when the coins go back up, I believe Fartcoin is one of the ones that stays because it has so much mind share. You're the Leangelo Ball of KOLs. Does that mean I don't even make it in the league? What the fuck, bro? No audio? That's not good. Is it back? Am I back? YouTube is giving me an error. I don't know what this means. Like, I don't know why it does this randomly. Nothing has changed about my streaming. Okay. Being Lancho Ball means I can still have a rap career. Hell yeah. I mean, I am named after Gucci Mane after all. Can I show you how the IMG basic indicator works? It's pretty straightforward, bro. You click in here. You choose the time frame that you want it to show you the ranges and the order blocks on. You turn it on, and then you just go to that time frame, and it will draw them out for you. See how it drew out the 12-hour order block and the 12-hour range? So it just does that for you automatically. Here's a 12-hour order block. Here's a 12-hour order block. It'll do bullish order blocks as well. Bullish order block. There's your 12-hour order block. That candle, it draws it out. Look at the retest. Rally. So it just does that for you. And all the settings here, you choose the time frame you want it to show. You can have it only show the most recent one. You can change the colors, things like that. It's pretty straightforward. Is Rollbit my go-to exchange? Absolutely not. I use Rollbit for gambling, and I use it for like quick scalps because you can basically get in and out with pretty fucking good size with no slippage because it's like a bucket shop basically. And I'm in Canada, so I don't have to have any fucking VPN or anything like that. So if I'm like just on my phone and I want to fucking take a quick scalp, I can just use Rollbit and fucking enter a trade. I don't have to worry about using a non KYC exchange. But it is a casino first. It's a crypto. I wouldn't even call it an exchange, but you can trade crypto on it, right? But if you want a non KYC exchange, Blowfin. If you can KYC, I like Bybit, obviously. And regardless of what you use my fucking ref links so your boy can get $1 and fucking afford some grub. I got a fucking big ass dog who eats all the time, bro. And dog food's getting expensive, bro. If there's no sound over on fucking Twitch, guys, I'm sorry. You'll have to come over to YouTube. Pepe? Oh, I don't need to do that. Hold on. Am I blind? I am blind. Dude, the more I wear my glasses, the less I can see. Like, I need glasses to see far. And I'm like, when I wear them, like my eyes are getting worse, bro. It's so annoying. And I'm not getting LASIK because everyone's like, oh, just get LASIK. I'm like, dude, I've heard horror stories about LASIK. I've heard people who are like, dude, it's fucked my eyes up. And your eyes continue to degrade. Will Pepe go up again? Yeah, I think so. Dude, a lot of coins like are so pumpable right now. So many coins are so pumpable here, in my opinion, if Bitcoin can just not go down. Like if Bitcoin can hold and even bounce a bit, so many coins are going to fucking rip. Like Solana took out massive monthly low here, huge wick into monthly demand. Right? Look at this. Like this is fucking a setup for a bounce if Bitcoin can hold. The setup is there. It took out the monthly low. It reclaimed it. You have a clear invalidation. This thing can fly if Bitcoin can behave. And the problem is if we get some sort of negative news and stocks just decide to nuke again sub 5K, it probably ruins all the setups. But there's a ton of coins that all are setting up the exact same. Tons of altcoins look like this. Okay? This is a monthly low. This is a monthly low. Okay? Tons of alts look like this, where they've taken out a monthly low and they're now trading back above it. So if Bitcoin can behave, that means that these are potentially a big monthly SFP, weekly SFP setup across so many coins. Solana, Ethereum has the same setup. CRV we just looked at has the same setup. Pepe we just looked at has the same setup. Tons of coins have this exact same setup right now. Bonk has the same setup. Right? Took out old monthly low, trading above. It might even get above this monthly low at some point. But so many coins. So many coins have this same setup, right? Where they've taken out monthly lows. Bonk's a great example. It's been down only, dude. Right? This is basically a straight down, almost 90% move with no bounce. We've now taken out a key monthly low and we're holding above it. Right? Look at the weekly closes respecting the monthly low. Closing above. Weekly SFPs. So a lot of these coins are very pumpable. This thing can very easily trade up into here if Bitcoin gets a bit of a bounce. And that's like a fucking huge bounce on Bonk. So a lot of coins are very pumpable, but it's all up to Bitcoin, which to me is just lockstep with the stock market right now. Right? Like if we just do Like, to me, these are just like the same fucking chart, basically. Right? Like, here's your top. Here's your top. There's your low. There's your low. So if this thing can fucking get some relief, fantastic. If this thing fucking rolls over, right, we're probably cooked, and all of those setups get blown up. So good opportunity to potentially throw some darts on some alts, assuming Bitcoin behaves. Dollar is breaking down, right? We have that range low here on the dollar that's finally breaking down. Gold fucking ripped based on this, right? Remember I talked about gold pulling back after this, and I had this level marked out. It came just shy, but dollar breaking down, gold absolutely flying, silver probably ready to rip, I think, soon. Like, look at all these pairs, dude. Nuking. Anything that's dollar denominated, dollar numerated is nuking. Dollar denominated ripping. Like EU fucking ripping. So there's potential there. It's fucking pumpable, but we just need everything to, fucking play ball, dude. Right? And you look at Bitcoin dominance. It's now come up to what? It capped out at 64%. Is this thing going to keep going? Starting to get into areas of resistance here. Could still trade higher, though. Copper ripping makes sense. How do order blocks work? Dave, go on my channel, type in order blocks. I have an entire video on it. It is hard being almost 60. It is really hard. I'm just tired all the time. Yeah, so if you want to know when to buy gold, right, or silver, you can look at something called the gold-silver ratio. Right? Now, this will tell you what is better to hold, gold or silver. Remember, what is this? This is just a fraction. So think of this as ETH BTC. Right? If ETH BTC, if this was ETH BTC, you would say, okay, ETH is stronger than Bitcoin right now. Right? Because it's the numerator. Right? But this is gold silver. So right now, when this chart is going up, gold is stronger than silver. If this chart starts to go down, silver, is stronger than gold relatively. Are you going to sell some spot or hedge on a bounce to 90? If we get back up to here, absolutely, I would take a ton of profit on shit. I would rather, because remember, if we come up here and we form a lower high, we probably go like way the fuck down here. And if we come up here and we end up trading higher, well then great. I think we're going way higher. So I'd way rather de-risk here by shorting, selling spot, whatever you want to do, and then potentially have to rebuy on a reclaim. And yeah, I lost a little bit of money or value, right, by selling and having to rebuy a little higher. But I'd way rather do that than not take anything off here and run the risk of us doing this. And I've now missed out on an opportunity to save myself a bunch of money. So in short, yeah. I think this is a very good question. I will be the judge of that. Question. On a lower time frame, let's say the 4-hour, what candles can act like Monday's range? Would it be the first 1-hour candle of the 4-hour candle open? The 4-hour candle itself can be a range. Any candle can be a range. Any candle can be a range, right? So you could say, okay, I'm going to use this 4-hour candle as a range right here. And then on the low time frame, you can say, okay, well, we traded above that 4-hour candle's high and we got back inside. Maybe I'm bearish here. Where did we trade into? Where did we trade into? Well, this is the discount of this range, is it not? We traded into the lower part of that range, right into the sweet spot, actually. We also traded and filled a massive fair value gap. So you go from, okay, I'm shorting that we're back in the range here. Sweep, break down again. Where's my bias after us failing at the range high? It's back towards the lower part of the range, the discount. Oh, we just filled a fair value gap. We're starting to put in bullish market structure. Maybe it's time to either close shorts or get long and target back into the range high. So any candle can be a range. Any candle can be a range. And you can use a weekly candle. You can use a 4-hour candle. You can use an hourly candle. And then you have to apply those other concepts. Okay, well, what's my bias? All of that fucking shit. If we come all the way to 69K, would you even be bullish? Yes, dude. If we come down to here, this is where I would be most bullish. Monthly demand. This is where I want to buy spot and long, down here. How do you zoom in on TradingView? Like by using my mouse roller, I guess. The mouse wheel. What you called it, a mouse roller? Can you chart link for a scenario where BTC forms a lower high? Remember, I've talked about all of these alts putting in basically the same setup. Link very similar, right? It's coming to monthly demand. So if look, does this not look potentially primed? So if Bitcoin can rip, right, and this thing can clear some resistance, there's a chance that it can come up into the 20s. Like this could very easily double on Bitcoin going up, 20%. Clear out some of these shorts. Right? But it needs to put in a bullish setup. Whereas if Bitcoin dumps again, right? If Bitcoin dumps again, maybe this makes another low. And then it's time for the relief rally, right? If you hold command or control, you can zoom where your pointer is. Oh no, when I hold command, it does that box. Kurt Smock said, I just got a Hims ad on stream. Tells me all I need to know. Keep dreaming. Have you considered that maybe, Kurt, that's because your search history suggests that that might be something you're interested in? Because potentially you're going on Google looking up shit about your fucking penis not working, and now you're getting served ads for the stuff that you've been looking at. Have you ever considered that, my friend? Maybe up, maybe down. That's how trading works, retard. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. And you just try and prepare for either scenario. Mario, I just answered that question, bro. Like, bro just played himself on stream. Getting served ads about fucking ED medication. Maybe stop Googling it, bro. When I look up ads for fucking snowboard jacket, when I look up stuff about snowboards, I get served ads for snowboard shit. BTC is approaching Monday's high. Would you short it? Not necessarily. I mean, like, what's the reasoning? Trading to Monday's high is not the short, right? Could we reject here? Sure. But I'm not just going to short it. I actually think we're above some support right now. But I have no trade. I think the trade already, like if you entered here, I think you've got to stop down here. I think realistically, something like this or something like this is probably the next setup on Bitcoin short term. If we can get above here and hold, then I think there's a good chance we go up to here, and I would look for a long. But for now, I think I'd probably fade either extreme of here or here. I think I'm getting yelled at for dinner soon. I ride a GNU, a GNU. I love you too, Kurt. I don't know what's for dinner. We're gonna order because I'm tired. I literally got back from the airport, showered, and then started streaming. Maine, do you study cycles and using your analysis like liquidity cycles? Not really. I mean, what's funny, so there's a bunch of podcasts that I did like a year ago, more than a year ago, like January and stuff. I went on like Cameron Foos's podcast, Words of Wisdom. I went on Titans of Tomorrow. And some guy has been clipping all of these podcast clips of mine from, a year plus ago. And I said, listen, until the daily trend is lost, we're still in a bull market. But as soon as the daily trend is lost, it's probably over. And then that's exactly what happened. And I didn't sell everything because I didn't even listen to my own advice. But funny to see how that works. In terms of like liquidity cycles with like, the Fed putting liquidity into the market and things like that, I do think that matters. And we've, seen that happen before, and it's coincided with the market going up or down. BTC does well in a risk-on, liquidity-rich environment for sure. But my trading is mostly based on just the chart itself. I've used the 4-year cycle thing, right, where it's been 4 years to each top. So that's why my estimation was that we weren't going to top this cycle until Q4, because that would put us 4 years after here, which is 4 years after the top in 2017. Sorry, from here, right? It's every 4 years. So, but again, I'm not like, I don't have a super deep understanding of that stuff, and I haven't needed to make money. Like, I think a lot of people look for meaning, like such deep meaning in some of this stuff. And it just prevents them from making money because they have like paralysis by analysis. They overanalyze everything, and they just don't even end up taking any trades because they're waiting for some sort of fucking perfect moment. But do I think QE and rate cuts and the Fed putting liquidity in the market would be good for Bitcoin? Yes. When podcast with Neck powered by Breakout? I've thought about doing a podcast. I do like interviewing people. Like, some of my most viewed videos on YouTube are me interviewing people. I think I'm good at it. And, but I just feel like there's so many fucking podcasts. Like, I just like, how many does there need to be? Main CT is complaining that bonds are ripping again right now. Again, I talked about this at the start of this video. I think 95% of CT doesn't even understand what bonds are, let alone how they work or how the way that they trade affects Bitcoin whatsoever. I think a lot of people would be better off just trying to mark up the equities charts and Bitcoin and, find when they're strong and when they're weak. Here's a bullish cycle. People are getting tired of our markets, equities, so they move over to crypto. Nah. Now, could there be a flight of capital from China to Bitcoin like there has been in the past? Maybe. Like, there's stuff that can happen. But again, like, this is this is like the most common thing is people see price do this, right? And they go, well, it did this because, instead of just trying to get in the trade. Oh, it did this because equities did this and China did this and this and this and this. It's like, it's all hindsight, right? Like half of Twitter, more than half, is people posting after the move and being like, Bitcoin ripped because of this. It's like, okay, but I'm much more interested in longing it before it goes up. I don't care why it goes up. I don't care why it goes up or down. If it goes up and I'm long, good. If it goes down and I'm short, good. If it goes up and I'm not long, scam. If it goes down and I'm not short, scam. Who cares about anything else? I always break it down to you guys. Like, if you can guess this correctly or this correctly, that's all you need. Whatever happens after that price leg, who fucking cares? We just need to get one price leg at a time right to make money. Because what are you doing here? Right? Again, all these people on Twitter are trying to fucking LARP as macroeconomic experts. And by all means, if you want to fucking wax poetic on Twitter about what's going on, you want to pontificate about what the fuck's going on, fucking go for it, bro. I'm here to make money. All I need is volatility, and I need to be able to figure out the next most likely direction for price. That's it. Trying to predict whether or not QT that may or may not happen in a month, 2 months, 3, 4 months from now, and what that's going to mean for the macro, that doesn't help me take a trade tomorrow. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that that stuff doesn't matter, because, yeah, maybe you hold spot, maybe you want to know where we're going long term, but short term, like, you only need to be able to guess one direction correctly to make money. So, you know, where are you focusing? And I feel like too many people focus on, like, trying to predict 20 moves in advance so they can look smart to a bunch of fucking retarded people on Twitter, as opposed to just trying to get one leg of price correct so you can make money on that. And you can make an entire career on that. And I told you this at the start, I don't fucking pretend to know fuck all about the complexities of the global financial markets. But I know enough about trading to, more often than not, make money on moves like this, just one at a time. Okay? And I think that that's a good place to fucking end it, because I'm tired and I'm hungry. But I love you guys. I don't even know what day it is, Thursday. So I'll be back with the stream either tomorrow or Saturday. Either way, I'll post something tomorrow. But I hope you guys learned something as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the streams. If you want to support me, as usual, the best way to do that is just check out the description of the YouTube video. You can join the Haven. You can trade at Breakout. You can use one of my ref links, my indicator that's free. I sent that's all in there as well. If you want to support me, by all means, I'm paying people to do clips now. So if you're interested in doing that, earning a little bit of bread, you can do it that way. Or you don't have to give me anything. All of these are free. I'm going to continue to do them regardless. But if you want to support me, there's a variety of ways to do so in the description. Please give me a follow on Instagram, on TikTok, on all those other platforms, because I'm posting actively different types of content on those platforms. Everything's in the description. As always, I love you guys. I will talk to you so soon. Stay safe. I hope you have a fantastic Thursday evening, Friday morning, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you very soon. Peace out.